As the Republicans rush to confirm Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court before Election Day, Democrats are fuming but have few options. So they're looking ahead and warning Republicans that what goes around comes around. Here's Senator Sheldon Whitehouse.
There are Republican members on this committee of whom I am very fond. But don't think that when you have established the rule of because we can, that should the shoe be on the other foot, you will have any credibility to come to us and say, yeah, I know you can do that, but you shouldn't because of X, Y, or Z. Your credibility to make that argument at any time in the future will die in this room and on that Senate floor if you continue to proceed in this way.
NBC News national political reporter Sahil Kapur joins me now. Sahil, in your latest reporting for NBC News, you write, these remarks foreshadow what could be a major fight among Democrats about whether and how to retaliate if they regain power in January. What are their options?
Yes, some ominous words there, Allison, from Senator Whitehouse, in terms of Democrats offering a bit of a warning shot to Republicans that they could take some drastic actions if they end up gaining power. Now, I should back up and say all of this depends on how the election goes. If Democrats win the trifecta, the House, Senate, and the presidency, then and only then does this become a live conversation. What Democrats could do, here are the ideas that are floating around. None of them have consensus at this point. There's talk of from progressive activists of adding seats to the Supreme Court. Some want to add as many as 4 seats to do what they say would essentially counter Republican, as they call it, theft of Supreme Court seats under President Obama, with the seat that could have gone to Merrick Garland but went to Neil Gorsuch, and now this seat, which they say is a violation of Republican standards, to fill another seat. So adding seats to the Supreme Court is one topic of conversation on the left. There's another one that Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden alluded to yesterday in his town hall, which is to change the way life tenure works for Supreme Court justices. This would require legislation to restructure the court and to say justices cannot serve for a lifetime and instead could rotate out at a certain point, maybe rotate to senior status where they would technically still be on the court but rarely hear cases to get around the constitutional requirement. So there's a lot of talk, a lot of ideas, no consensus at this point. Democrats are just, they've decided to hit pause on this conversation to try to keep their eye on the ball with the election and then see, depending on what happens, where to go from there.
Sahil, some Democrats want ranking member Dianne Feinstein to step down from the Judiciary Committee after these hearings. And this image of her hugging Lindsey Graham maskless, we're not seeing that just yet, but hopefully that'll come up, is sparking some controversy. Why do they want her off the committee? There it is. And any chance that she'll leave?
Quite a bit of controversy surrounding that hug. And the reason is progressives believe that Dianne Feinstein, toward the end of that hearing, not just with that hug, but with her remarks preceding that, praising and thanking Lindsey Graham for the way he handled it, Democrats believe that she undercut their entire message, which was that this hearing was not a good hearing, that it was not a fair hearing, that in the views of most Democrats, that it was a partisan hearing, it was a sham hearing. Some of them have even called it illegitimate because it violates their own standard for not confirming a Supreme Court nominee in an election. So they believe that, Senator Feinstein undercut that argument. And I also heard from some Democratic operatives who believe that she undercut Jamie Harrison, the Democratic candidate who's putting up a surprisingly strong fight against Lindsey Graham in South Carolina, that she hurt him by praising Lindsey Graham and saying he did such a great job in the committee.
Sahil, let's talk stimulus. Everyone's saying they want to make a deal, but where are the talks really right now? Have we gone anywhere at all this week?
There are conversations happening between Speaker Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, but they don't seem to be amounting to much. This is one of those situations where no one wants to be holding the bag, at the end when the clock strikes zero on the timer here. So the conversations are happening, but there's still a lot of dissension there. The single biggest problem, as Democrats see it, is that President Trump's views on this zigzag a lot, that his advisors and his officials don't quite know where to go with this, and that Senate Republicans are not on the same page as him. So we're unlikely to be anywhere close to a deal at this point.
All right, we'll see if they can make any progress tomorrow. I know a lot of Americans are depending on it. Sahil, thanks so much for being with us throughout the week. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thanks, Allison.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.